Hello, today's topic you can see it is cardiac cycle from the chapter Anatomy and Physiology. So let's discuss it here. First, I have written the definition. We need to know what is cardiac cycle. The definition is the period of time that begins with contraction. Sorry, this one of atria and ends with ventricular relaxation is known as cardiac cycle. Okay, that means the relaxation and contraction of heart simultaneously. The here, this is the structure of heart, this is atria and this is ventricle. Okay, and contraction of atria and contraction of ventricle, as well as the relaxation of atria and relaxation of ventricle in a cyclic fashion is known as cardiac cycle. The period of contraction is called systole. That means contraction is equal to systole. Okay, and the period of relaxation is called as diastole. Relaxation is simply called as diastole. Both atria and ventricle undergo systole, that is contraction, and diastole, that is relaxation, to ensure blood is pumped efficiently to the body. We know that heart is the pumping organ and it is meant for circulation of blood by pumping, and this systole and diastolic cycle ensure the efficient blood pump throughout the body. This is the structure of entire contraction and relaxation. This is phase 1 starting. Cardiac cycle starts with atrial systole, that is atrial contraction. This is two atria here. This is the right atrium, this is left atrium. They become contract so that exert pressure on atrial muscle and blood pumps to the ventricle. This is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. Okay, and in this way atrial contraction occurs, that is atrial systole. In the second phase here, as blood pumps into the ventricle, the semilunar the valves, that is this is the tricuspid valve, this is mitral valve or bicuspid valve. Okay, here becomes closed. It prevents the backflow of the blood from ventricle to again atria or auricle. Yeah, ventricular contraction. After auricular systole or contraction, then blood enters into the ventricle and then ventricular contraction starts. Okay, yeah, this is the second phase. You can see ventricular contraction, ventricular systole, fast phase. This color and here it is mentioned ventricular systole. Yeah, this is the third phase, ventricular ejection. And when the pressure exerted in the left, this is right ventricle, okay, and this is left ventricle, then blood puts pressure on the semilunar valves, that is aortic valve and here another semilunar valve, to enter into lungs simultaneously to the body tissues. Okay, and in this way blood releases from the both ventricles. Then come to the fourth phase. This is the ventricular relaxation or diastole. After blood entering into aorta and pulmonary artery, now less amount of blood remains in the ventricle and now ventricle is at rest or relaxation stage. This is called as diastole or ventricular diastole. Here it is also mentioned by some other name, that is isovolumic or isovolumetric relaxation. Yes. And this is the fifth phase. In this in this phase both auricle and ventricles are in relaxation phase, and in the fifth phase ventricular filling or ventricular diastole late here. This is the last phase, and again blood enters into both the auricles and ready to enter into both ventricle by the process of auricular contraction or atrial systole. This 5 stages in the image is indicating the atrial systole here. This is an atrial diastole, this color, this is yellow color, and ventricular systole, here ventricular relaxation or diastole. This is also indicated by ECG, electrocardiogram, by PQRST waves. Okay, I will discuss it later. Now come to the phases of cardiac cycle. Whatever I have shown you in this image, I have written here the phases of cardiac cycle. First one is at the beginning of the cardiac cycle, both atria and ventricles are relaxed. Okay, you can see from this 5th phase. Okay, you can see auricles and ventricles are in relaxed stage. Okay, or diastolic stage. Then blood is flowing into the right atrium from the superior and inferior vena cava and coronary sinuses. This. Okay. Give me a moment, please. Okay. Here. Okay. Here is the. You can see this one. Yeah. First entering of blood from inferior vena cava and coronary sinuses. Then in the right side of the auricle or right side of the heart. At the meantime, in the left side or left auricle, blood enters into pulmonary vein. There are 4 pulmonary veins where oxygenated blood enters into auricle. Okay, the 2 semilunar valves here, pulmonary and aortic valves, are closed, preventing backflow of blood into the right and left ventricles. You can see here. Okay, these are the valves. Okay, this is tricuspid valve, this is bicuspid valve. They immediately closed after the blood enters into the auricle, so that blood is not entering into the ventricle. Okay, and also they prevent backflow of the blood from the ventricle. Now the tricuspid and mitral valves are both open, so blood flow from the atria to the ventricle. When atrial systole exert pressure will be more and it pushes the valves, that is mitral valve and tricuspid valve, so that the blood from the both auricles enters into ventricle. Okay. This is all about the cardiac cycle phases and a short brief idea regarding cardiac cycle. Thank you.